You are staring at an exam scenario or, maybe you're looking at your own team at work, and you're just wondering why giving someone a pay raise didn't actually make them work any harder.
Oh, yeah. It is such a common headache.
Right. And whether you are a 23-year-old on your morning commute trying to grasp management concepts or a 38-year-old professional on your lunch break dealing with this exact headache in the office, you are facing the exact same problem.
You're confusing what fixes a complaint with what actually drives performance.
Exactly. I mean, what if the exact thing you think drives people to succeed is really just a psychological baseline?
And what if the real secret to motivation is, well, hiding in the job itself?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling the ACCA Business and Technology paper. Specifically, we're focusing on Herzberg's motivational theory.
Yeah, and by the end of this deep dive, you will walk away with the definitive framework to instantly categorize any motivational factor.
Whether an examiner throws it at you or a real-world manager.
Jeez.
And we built this specifically for you. Balancing your ACCA studies with your real lives, wherever you are in the world right now. So let's just jump right in.
Sounds good.
So Herzberg's theory. Let's define this in plain English without the textbook jargon. Basically, it's a two-factor content theory that splits workplace drive into two completely separate, totally distinct needs.
Right. And one need is entirely about avoiding unpleasantness, while the other is strictly about seeking personal development and growth.
Okay, let's unpack this with a real-world analogy so we can really see the difference.
Sure.
Think of it like maintaining a car. Putting oil in the engine, which we'll call hygiene factors, stops the car from exploding or breaking down.
Yeah, it keeps things running.
Right. But the oil doesn't make the car drive faster, and it doesn't give you a thrilling road trip.
No, absolutely not.
To actually get that momentum, you need the accelerator and a destination. And those are your motivating factors.
That is a spot-on analogy. But, here is something really surprising about this whole concept.
Oh, what's that?
Well, you'd think early management research was all done on factory floors, right?
Yeah, like assembly lines and stopwatches.
Exactly. But Herzberg's original research wasn't conducted there. It was actually undertaken in the offices of accountants and engineers.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
So this theory was literally built around the exact professions our ACCA listeners are working in right now.
It was 200 professionals in Pittsburgh back in the 1950s.
Wow. Okay, so because this research is based right in accounting and engineering environments, that's got to be why examiners love to test it in the BT syllabus.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, examiners love the deceptive simplicity of this two-need system.
Deceptive is the key word there.
Yeah, because it sounds easy to grasp, but under exam pressure, people get it wrong. And honestly, it matters globally because managers everywhere misunderstand why their staff are unmotivated, even when the pay is excellent.
Which happens all the time.
Right. Understanding this framework prevents organizations from just throwing money at problems that actually require job redesign.
So how exactly do examiners test this? Usually they'll give you a list of workplace factors and ask you to separate the satisfiers from the dissatisfiers, right?
That is the standard format, yeah. They want to see if you can split them up correctly.
Makes sense.
And honestly, examiners know that someday you will be managing people, so they want to save you from the expensive mistake of trying to buy loyalty when you actually just need to make the job less boring.
Make the job less boring. I love that. So let's break this down into three clear parts. Part one, hygiene factors, or the maintenance stuff.
Okay.
These are external to the job itself. They are basically all about avoiding discomfort. So the sources give examples like salary, working conditions, organizational policy, administration, and interpersonal relations.
Right.
But wait, hold on. I have to push back here. Salary is just maintenance. It doesn't motivate.
Well, what's fascinating here is that, yes, it's just maintenance. Excellent pay stops complaints, but it doesn't actually create passion.
I mean, that feels so counterintuitive. If someone doubles my salary tomorrow, I feel motivated.
You feel a huge spike in mood, sure, but human psychology adapts quickly. Within a few months, that new money just becomes your baseline. It's your new normal.
Ah, I see.
Simply put, hygiene factors prevent dissatisfaction, but they do not provide positive motivation.
Okay, but if good pay and good admin don't motivate, what happens when the actual motivators are missing?
And that is part two, the pivot. When there is a lack of motivators, employees undergo a shift. They over-concentrate on the hygiene factors.
So they start obsessing over things like perceived differences with others or the office conditions.
Exactly. Because the job itself isn't a puzzle to solve, Their brain redirects that energy to the environment.
Right, like complaining about the lighting or the vacation policy.
Yeah. Simply put, bored people will find negative things to complain about.
Wow. So how do we actually get them to care about the work?
That brings us to part 3, the motivating factors, or the satisfiers. These are strictly intrinsic. They reside within the work itself.
Right, the sources outline these clearly. It's things like the sense of achievement, recognition, responsibility, opportunities for advancement, and status.
Yes. Notice how none of those involve the physical environment or company policy.
Yeah, it's all about the challenge of the task.
Exactly. Simply put, to motivate someone, the job itself must be challenging and have scope for enrichment.
Okay, let's take this out of the theoretical. Let's ground this in a global, real-world example so everyone can picture it.
I think that's a great idea.
Imagine a growing multinational accounting firm. They're going through a major, high-stakes, cross-border deal.
Very high pressure.
Huge pressure. Now let's look at the early career angle. We have a 23-year-old junior auditor on the team representing our commuter persona.
Okay.
And they're highly paid. The office is gorgeous, so the hygiene factors are completely met. But they're stuck doing incredibly repetitive administrative checks on subsidiary tax forms.
Oh, so they're basically a human rubber stamp.
Exactly. They feel absolutely no sense of achievement and have zero responsibility.
Because there are no actual motivators.
Right. So what do? Overconcentration kicks in. They start complaining endlessly about the organizational policy and getting into minor arguments with the IT department.
Yeah, they're starving for stimulation. So let's look at this from the senior professional angle.
Okay.
The 38-year-old manager, representing our lunch break persona, sees this happening. Now, an instinctual manager might look at this and think, I need to authorize a retention bonus to keep this kid happy.
But based on what we just learned, that bonus is just a hygiene factor. It's pouring synthetic oil into a car sitting in neutral.
Exactly. It might stop the complaining for a week, but it won't generate any forward momentum.
So what does the manager who understands Herzberg actually do?
Instead of offering a bonus, they use job design. They apply things like job enrichment, enlargement, and rotation.
Which are huge concepts in the syllabus.
Yes, they are. So instead of just checking forms, the manager gives the junior auditor direct responsibility for a small but vital piece of the cross-border deal.
So they actually give them a real problem to solve.
Exactly. And then they make sure to recognize that auditors work in front of their colleagues.
Which triggers those intrinsic satisfiers. And the result of that is that junior acquires new skills.
Yeah, which increases the value of the organization's human assets. It leads directly to real staff commitment and loyalty.
Not just bought loyalty.
Right. And connecting this directly to the exam, if a scenario asks how the manager improved motivation, the trap answer is improved working conditions.
You have to avoid that trap.
Exactly. The correct answer is that the manager provided opportunities for advancement and intrinsic value.
That actually brings us perfectly to what students get wrong. Let's just say it straight. The single most common exam mistake on this topic is misidentifying salary and job security as motivating factors.
It happens all the time.
Why do you think that is? I mean, why do we always fall for it?
Well, because in our daily lives, we intuitively feel like money motivates us. We naturally think a bonus will make us work harder because we have bills to pay.
Yeah, our real-world anxiety takes over and screams that money is the ultimate motivator.
Exactly. But you have to separate your real-life intuition from Herzberg's framework.
So how do we fix that mindset for the exam?
You have to ask yourself one fundamental question. Is this factor associated with the environment of the job or the intrinsic value of the work itself?
Oh, I see.
If it's dictated by a payroll department or HR policy, it's external. Therefore, it is strictly a hygiene factor.
So if it's something your boss can fix by just signing a check
Mm-hmm.
or buying a better office chair, it is a hygiene factor.
Yeah.
Genuine motivation, unfortunately, takes actual management effort.
Actual management effort. That is the perfect way to phrase it.
All right, let's give the listeners their exam edge. 3 sharp, specific tips so you can dominate any Herzberg question on the BT paper.
Tip number 1, remember the strict dichotomy. Motivation is the need for personal development. Hygiene is the need to avoid unpleasantness. Do not blur them.
Tip number 2, memorize the trap items. Salary, job security, and quality of management are always hygiene factors. They are dissatisfiers.
Right. And recognition, status, and responsibility are always motivators. They are your satisfiers.
And tip number 3, job design is your magic wand. Look for the concepts of job enrichment, enlargement, and rotation as the ultimate managerial tools to unlock intrinsic satisfaction.
Those are the mechanisms that actually work.
And having this framework locked down does way more than just secure remarks.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're a younger listener, early in your career, you now have the exact toolkit to understand why you might feel restless at a well-paying job. It's not a personal failing. Your brain is just starving for a challenge.
And if you're a seasoned manager, you now have the academic framework to back up what you've intuitively known for years. Human assets require genuine growth, not just maintenance.
Bringing it all full circle back to the start, you now know exactly why throwing a pay raise at an unmotivated team member won't solve your underlying performance problem.
Because attention to hygiene prevents dissatisfaction, but only the intrinsic value of the work itself provides positive motivation.
That is the one punchy sentence to remember.
Yeah.
We want to take a moment to genuinely thank you, our global audience, for tuning in. We know that studying for the ACCA is not a casual undertaking.
No, it takes serious dedication.
You're balancing demanding global careers, complex personal lives, and a really rigorous syllabus. We respect the grit it takes to seek out this edge, and we appreciate you spending your time with us.
Absolutely.
Please take a second to follow the show on Spotify and leave us a review. But before you go, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought.
Oh, let's hear it.
If Herzberg is right, that motivation comes purely from the intrinsic challenge of the job,
Right.
how, as a manager, do you genuinely motivate someone when the job itself is fundamentally routine and simply cannot be enriched?
Ugh, that is a tough one to wrestle with.
Something for you to ponder. Thank you for listening.